And then exhale, belly button towards the spine. Again, inhale, belly big. Exhale, belly button towards the spine. Relax those shoulders. All right. Inhale, belly big. And exhale. Beautiful. Again, feeling your feet into the floor. You're getting out of your head and into your body with feeling the feet into the ground. Next, when we did the Dantian breathing, let's do the Atlas point rotation. So I'm going to relax my legs. I'm not going to have them fierce into the floor today. I'm going to take my nose and draw a circle. So this is called the Atlas point rotation. Ooh, little crinkly things may be happening. And that's to soften those neck muscles. Now, if this kind of makes you feel a little dizzy, what you can do instead is have the eyeballs look forward and just turn the head. So you're going to get a little extra eye exercise when you do that, as opposed to the eyeballs following the circle. Ooh, I feel it here on that right side a little bit. Little Rice Krispies, little snap, crackle, pop. Always keep everything between the easy and the ouch. If something's weird, you don't like it, don't do it, okay? And then we're going to pause and then take it the other way. So here we go. Ooh, notice if you feel more noise or more challenge. It's a bit noisier going this other direction. Very good, very good. Woo. Then one more time all the way around. Excellent. And then join me back to the center. Woo. All right, next let's do swimming dragon. So hands together. You can hook the thumbs or not, okay? And you're about a fist distance away from your middle dantian, your chest level. We'll breathe in, belly big. Now contract that belly button. Push hands one direction, turn the head the other direction. Notice your range of motion. Stay here. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, belly button towards the spine. Bring it back to the center. Very good. Relax those shoulders. Again, stay here. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, push the head one direction, hands the other. This is your range of motion, lessening neck pain posture. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, back to the center. Let's do that one more time. Stay here. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, push it away. Chin goes one way, hands go the other. Or maybe they go the same direction. Who knows? Stay here, breathe in. Exhale, back to the center. We're going to do this one more time. And again, stay here, breathe in, belly big. Exhale, push it away. Wonderful. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale, back to the center. Now we're going to do that finishing breath. So hands out to the side, inhaling, circle, sweep arms up. And then hands come down to heart center as if there was an energy center here at the tops of the hands or bottoms of the hands. And you're pushing down the energy back down to 2 finger widths below your belly button, that dantian. Beautiful. Let's do that again. Breathe in, circle, sweep arms up. And exhale. Beautiful. Wonderful. We're going to spread the fingers on one of our hands and bring it out to the side. And I'm going to lower my arm just a little bit more. Then I take my thumb, turn it to the back of the room. So I kind of feel a little activation of that shoulder. Now I'm going to take my opposite ear, drop it towards the opposite shoulder. Oof. Then I'm going to lift my chin where the wall meets the ceiling. Now again, if you have vertigo, that kind of stuff, maybe you keep your chin more towards your chest, okay? And opposite, okay? Now we're going to draw like a smile or a half circle with our chin. So bring the chin towards the chest. Oof. And then towards that extended arm side. Again, you're really vigorously turning that thumb to the back of the room. Bring it back down to the chest and towards that opposite side and release. So spreading the feathers opens up that carotid, brings more blood flow to the brain. So that's a good thing, yeah? Let's do the other side. So spread those feathers out to the side. And again, I lower my arm a little bit and then I turn that thumb to the back of the room. Now just know, you can also do these postures standing if you so desire. You don't have to stay seated, okay? We're going to take that opposite ear, drop it towards the shoulder. Kind of notice what you notice here, yeah? And then lift that chin where the wall meets the ceiling. And again, I'm feeling the sensation in that arm going on. And then we're going to draw that smile. So bring that chin towards the chest, softly, slowly now, and then towards the arm extended outside. And then bring the chin back down to the chest and towards that opposite side. and release. Very good. From here, let's spin the hands. Now, some folks will spin like the entire arm, but what I want you to try to focus on is the wrist, okay? Good for carpal tunnel. If you do a lot of mousing, clicking with that mouse, a lot of keyboard, a lot of sewing, a lot of crafting, a lot of things with the hands. Maybe you work with tools. This is great for that, okay? Loosening the wrists, good for carpal tunnel. Plus, it gives you a little bit of airflow to the neck, to the chest, which sometimes if you're in a stuffy room, that's a good thing. All right, and let's reverse. Okay, it takes a couple of times to kind of get into it, okay? I noticed that my left hand doesn't spin as nicely as my right hand, but maybe that's because my right hand is more dominant. I don't know. That's the rumor I'm starting, at least, okay? Whew. And again, I like the reverse because it gives me more airflow. Maybe because, again, that right hand is more strong than that left. I don't know. I just like that air coming across. Very good. And then from here, we're going to roll the shoulders back and forward. And let's do that again. Back, snap, crackle, pop, and forward. Now let's do some holds. Shoulders towards your ears. Make it look funny. So this is your upper back strength builder. We're going to turn halfway to the side. Again, looks funny, feels kind of strong here, and then release it down. So you should have felt a lot of activation of the upper back musculature. Let's do that again. Shrug the shoulders up, 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 up. Squeeze those armpits too. Wiggle the hands to make it look even funnier. And then turn halfway to the other side. Ooh, a little extra business going on there. I also chin align with my chest here when I do this. And then lower the shoulders and bring it back to the center. Again, that's for preventing the hump in the neck to strengthen that upper back musculature. From here, let's do wild goose flutter. So we're fluttering the hands up and down. So I'm kind of going at an angle here. I don't know if you can tell that you probably can't tell that in the camera, yeah? You probably think, oh, they're going out just straight to the side. Maybe, maybe not. And then take one to the front, one out to the side. You can turn your head if you like. Bringing energy into the wrists, into the arms, into the fingers, back to the front at an angle. And then try one straight out to the side. Notice what you notice. It didn't go very far up. At least for me it doesn't. And go back to that angle. Very good. One more time. Excellent. Now I'm going to shift over to the side of my chair. I've got a wide chair here. I'm going to place my hand either on my hip or on my shoulder. We're going to do stir arms. So stir your arms. And if you have your hand on your shoulder, you might feel some snap, crackle, pop stuff. Excuse me, I just burped. Sometimes when we're like doing all this movement, air bubbles escape. That's what I'm at least telling y'all, okay? And maybe your circles are smaller. Maybe they're more ovally. Mine's are strange shape. And let's reverse, go the other way. So my master teacher, Allison Deputy, she teaches these classes over on Moon Willow Tai Chi. That's a platform where you pay for the classes, but they have a variety of stuff with her and her son, Alan. So those are worth checking out also. And then let's make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Very good. That's a range of motion. That's what that helps with. We're going to shift over to the other side. I had a pacemaker put on that side, and let's start on the other side. I'm going to do my hand on the hip on this one. And so when I had the pacemaker surgery, they had my arm in a cast for 2 weeks. That's so that the wires would not come out of the heart. I have a super low heart rate. That's why I had the pacemaker. They were worried that, the heart wouldn't go back and beat. So anytime it gets below 45 beats per minute, it stimulates the upper chamber, and let's reverse, and then stimulates the lower chamber if the algorithm in the pacemaker says, oh, we need to stimulate the bottom one too. So why am I telling you this? Well, this was the physical therapy exercise I had to do to get my range of motion back in that shoulder. Also helps with bursitis, okay? All right. And let's make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Beautiful. Sit up nice and tall, back to the center of your chair. Again, away from the back of the chair if you just joined us. And next is, I cannot ever say this, Kuan Yin paints the rainbow. Again, it's isolation of that shoulder. range of motion. So we're going to take one hand down, the palm facing us, and then we're going to take the thumb, turn it to the back of the room. So it's the pinky facing me, okay? Then we'll inhale, arm up, and then exhale, woo, back behind you. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop, maybe. And then we're going to inhale, gather them up together, flip the hand, bring the other one down. Now the palm is facing me, so I'm going to turn that thumb to the back of the room, pinky towards me. Very good. Inhale, circle, sweep arm up. Exhale, woo, back behind you. That one snap, crackle, popped a bunch. And then inhale, gather them up, flip it. Now I place one hand on my leg, the other one down beside my hip. My thumb is towards you. Now I'm going to turn it to the back of the room, pinky towards me. Inhale, up, up, up. Exhale, back behind you. And then we're going to inhale, raise them up together, flip it, and then bring the other one down. Again, thumb away, pinky towards me. Here we go. Breathe in, circle, sweep arm up, reach, reach, reach. You may have to turn your chest a little bit. Exhale, back behind you. Inhale, gather them both up, flip, and bring the other one down. This is the last time. Turn the thumb away, pinky towards me. Breathe in, circle it up. Exhale, back behind you. Woo. Again, inhale, gather them up, flip the hand. Last time on this side. Thumb away, pinky towards me. Here we go. Breathe in, circle, sweep arm up. Exhale, back behind you. Inhale, gather. Exhale, float them down. And let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And bring down the chi. So one thing that happens when you coordinate the breath, this is true in yoga too, with movement, that lowers your cortisol. So that's the chemical, the chemistry that's linked to increased belly fat. So there's like a scientific reason for doing movement practices when you coordinate the movement with the breath. I just thought I'd give you a little FYI there for your information. Okay, so next is cup those hands and swing those arms. Again, you're going to do what you can with what you got today. Maybe one arm doesn't do the same as the other. That's okay, all right? Just know that, all right? Now, if you're able, hand taps on top of the shoulders, a little bit of an elbow bend going on there. Very good. Again, do what you can. Maybe it's a fake tap. Fake taps work too. Woo! Keep on breathing. Let's do 3 more. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Now, inhale, circle, sweep arms up. This time, bring down fists. Fists to your lap. We're going to do eagle claw. This is for increased mobility. So let's inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high, whatever you can do. Inhale, back to your chest. Kind of squeeze your armpit here. Open up the hand. Exhale, push it forward like a stop sign. Very good. Inhale, back to your chest. Now exhale, turn your head, bring the hand out to the side, and we're going to open and close 5 times. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to your waist. Other side, fist to chest. Breathe in. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the hand. Exhale, push it forward. Like, give me some attitude. Push it forward. Very good. Inhale, back to your chest. Hands are still spread out. Exhale, out to the side. Open and close 5 times. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. Here we go. Other side. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Reach, reach, reach. Beautiful. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up. Exhale, push it to the front of the room. Beautiful. Inhale, back to your chest. Squeeze that armpit. Exhale, out to the side. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to your waist. Other side. Fist to chest. Breathe in. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up that hand. Exhale, push it forward. Beautiful. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, out to the side. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do one more each side. So here we go. Inhale, fist, other fist to chest. Exhale, push it towards the sky. Reach, reach, reach. Oh yeah. Inhale, back to your chest. Open it up. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale, back to your chest. Excellent. Exhale, out to the side. Last time this side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. Inhale, fist to chest, increasing mobility. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up that hand. Excellent. Exhale, push it forward. Wonderful. Inhale, back to your chest. Squeeze that shoulder. Exhale, out to the side. Last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. Let's do the finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up, and bring down the chi. Beautiful. Excellent. All right, I'm going to bring a foot out to the side. I can't believe we haven't done any foot stuff yet. Well, we did at the beginning. We pressed our feet into the floor, right? So I'm on the back of my heel. I'm going to wiggle my toe a little bit. And I'm going to invite the toes, woo, towards my chest. So I'm feeling a little bit of spice here in the quadricep. You know, you can always bend the knee a little bit if it's like straight and it feels strange in the bend of the knee, but then you're going to feel it someplace else. So kind of decide which is better. I don't know. Again, toes towards you, little calf contraction. Now let's point it away. Feel the step on the top of the foot, the shin, the calf, of course, and then we're going to pump it. So here we go, toes towards you and toes away. So this is considered to be your second heart, this calf pump, returning the blood flow from, you know, the extremities of our body back into the heart. It's also a blood glucose lowering technique after you have a meal. If you can't do that quick 10-minute walk, do calf pumps, okay? Very good. What does this one do? Let me see what this one does. Prevent foot cramps, improve ankle flexibility, which is good for walking better. Again, second heart, blood flow back to the heart. I love it. 85 more times. Okay, maybe 3 more times. 3, 2, and 1. Now you can use your hand to guide it back. I typically do that. That's me. And let's do the other side. So bring the other leg out. I got to move my behind a little bit to make it feel better. And then toes towards you. Ooh. Notice this side. Okay, does this calf feel more constricted, more tight, or different? Does it feel different than the other side? Or did you even notice? Who knows? You may not have noticed. Tai Chi and yoga really increase your awareness of what's going on with your body, because a lot of us are so disconnected from our bodies, yeah? All right, now we're going to point it away. Ooh, my foot popped. You didn't hear it because I was talking. It made a big O sound, just like that. And then let's do the pump stuff, okay? So, ooh, bring it towards you and away. Again, this one feels a little tight. Of course, I was driving on the way back from teaching the first class, and I don't tell anybody, but I drive with both feet. I just told you, right? I brake with my left, accelerate with my right. That's just kind of how my dad taught me way back when. But I know in Texas it's illegal, so you got to catch me doing it though, okay? Louise, I can see you're laughing. Okay. She'd probably say, I do that too, maybe. I don't know. 3 more. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Yay! All right, we're going to sit back in our chair. Finally. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but it's not going to be good. I'm just going to tell you. Well, okay, it's going to be good. We're doing knee strengtheners next. So let's clap our hands. Oh, you know what? Do it again. And then like you're making meatballs or cookie dough, or I don't know what you're doing. Or maybe you're starting a fire. Create heat in your palms and move it down to the fingers. That's great for circulation, yeah? Makes them feel better. Woo! And then let's take this heat softly, sweetly onto our knees. Ooh, oh yeah. Now you're not like super pushing down, but you're creating a little bit of circulation. And then reverse it, go the other way. Now to address those acupressure places, come up on the balls of your fingers or the pads of your fingers and go around the knees. It sometimes feel like it's almost ticklish, almost. And reverse. And then we're going to take the fingers underneath. I'm going to move my feet forward a little bit, underneath the knees, and rub the side of the knees and in that knee crease. Knee crease, the bend of the knees. It's at the bottoms of the hamstring and the tops of the calf. So that's good stuff. This is one of the mechanisms for helping reduce edema, swelling in the feet. But you got to do the big 6 to make it even more beneficial. But this is part of it. Very good. All right, now again, we're scooting back in our chair. We're going to do the knee strengthener. So basically, we're going to lift a leg up. And I lift my leg up because it feels weird on the chair, toes towards you. And then lower, hover, so I'm not touching the floor, and then point the toes. and release. So again, this strengthens the tissues, the knees, all that stuff around in this area. Let's do the other side. So lift up, bottom of the foot. Again, I lift my leg up because it feels stuck to my chair for whatever reason. And then lower, and then point the toes, and release it down. Let's do the other side. Here we go. Flex that foot. Flex, flex. Did I mention flex? I mentioned flex. And then lower, whew, and point the toes. Again, strengthening knees and the surrounding tissue, and lower. Let's do the other side one more time. So here we go. Flex that foot, toes towards you. Show me the bottom of your foot. And then lower. And then point the toe. And release. Wonderful. Come forward a little bit. Clap your hands once again. A little bit of heat into the hands. And if you can safely hinge forward, rub the shins. Rub the back of the calves or the front of the calves. I'm not sure how that's supposed to go. And the side of the legs, inside, underneath, the other. And again, the knees one more time. Beautiful. Woo! And again, I'm going to clap the hands one more time. From here, you're going to hate me. Hands underneath. So this tests what's going on with your hip flexors. This may be an ouchy situation. You're going to do a whole lot less. Maybe you're just tapping on the sides and lifting the foot barely. Or if you're able, belly button, low belly contracted. This is part of the using both sides of the brain, plus increasing cardio. Sneaky, huh? Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, hello shoulders, and 1. Very good. We're going to bring one foot forward and do the opposite bent elbow. So when you walk, you swing the opposite arm forward. So this is similar to that, only our seat is on the chair. And then we're going to switch. Again, make sure opposite arm and leg. And then switch. And I'm going to lean back a little bit, really hold my core here, and go a little faster. Or not. Again, cross crawl. Getting into those hips, getting into the brain. And third bonus, a little bit of cardio, okay? Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to sweat. I'm sweating. Again, brain work. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Shake those legs, stomp those feet, maybe hands on the chair. Shake them, shake them. You shake and stomp your feet to avoid leg cramps, okay? Do this daily. Very good. Now, again, kind of address the hip flexors. Take your hands underneath your knee pit and slide the leg out to the side and in. Same side. So you may be noticing a little bit of spiciness, depending if you have some back issues. Now imagine there's a golf ball or a small soccer ball here on the floor. You don't want to kick it out of the way. You want to hop over it. So we're going into maybe range of motion that you're not used to. So this is the getting in and out of the car movement sequence, whether you're, let's see, depending which side you're doing, passenger side, driver side, you know. So a functional move to kind of assess what's going on with you today. 1 more. Very good. Let's do the slide on the other side. So here we go. It's a variation of sumo stomp, although we didn't stomp yet. Or, yeah, we didn't stomp on the other side, did we? No, we didn't. We're going to skip the stomp, but just go through the motions. Okay, and bring it up. Or maybe you want to go ahead and stomp. You go ahead and stomp. I'm not stomping today. I'll stomp and my socks will come off. I'm doing a soft stomp. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. All the way out, all the way in. Bring the ankle bones together. Sit up tall, your opportunity to be tall. And make fists if you like, or hands on the chair. You get to choose here. We're going to heel toe out to the side. It's called jitterbug. Again, we're strengthening the ankles. Now I'm on a metal chair, so I'm able to kind of slide my behind. I was on a cloth chair earlier, and I was like heating up that chair. Again, if you're allowed to twist, try to do it the opposite. And sometimes I'm going, am I doing the opposite? Okay, I don't know. I'm not going to look. Then it's going to confuse me. Again, lots of brain work. Love it. Tai Chi is great for that brain work, that dementia prevention. Getting deep into our circulatory system with the deep breaths. Wherever you are, let's join back up in the center. Okay, now ankle bones together. Let's bring the feet apart, the heels apart, toes in. Feels weird, yeah? Then we're going to independently walk them out and in. So here we go. Strengthening those ankles. Noticing one side maybe feeling different than the other, maybe. Tap the toes or the heels, whatever's available. Whew. Okay. I'm going way out there. Okay. One more in and out. Are your ankles getting tired? Your shins getting tired yet? Maybe. Bring them in. Beautiful. Stomp those feet. Very good. Now, scoot back just a little bit. Lift a leg up. Point and flex again. And then draw a circle inward with your foot. Try to do just a foot. Sometimes the whole leg wants to get into the party. Just try to do the foot. Sometimes that's impossible though. And then reverse. Other direction. And release. Let's do the other side. Lift up, point and flex. Very important for your balance. And then draw the circle inward, in towards the center. And reverse. Ooh. Very good. Yay! Clap the hands. Rub some heat into the hands, and let's tap the tips of the fingers. So tap, 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 and then bring it up the side of the bone, of the arm bone, into the shoulder. Ooh, I love that. Palm up, bring it down the front. Let's do that again. Tap the tips of the fingers, tap, tap, tap. That's 5 different meridians. Bring it up the side, into that shoulder, and then bring it down the front. Clap the hands again. Rub some heat. We're going to do the other side. Yay. So tap the tips of the fingers. Here we go. Tap, tap, tap. And bring it up the side. Get that shoulder ready. Drop that head. Woo. And then palm up. Bring it down the front. Or the inside, I guess you call it. Tap the tips of the fingers. One more time. Bring it up. Into the shoulder. Oh, yeah. And then bring it down the inside. Woo. I love it. Get some heat going on here. Beautiful. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. From here, let me think here. I'm going to take an arm out to the side. Is that right? Yes. Breathe in, bring it across. Exhale out to the side. Inhale up and over. And exhale, land in front of you. Now, let's bring it back to the center. Inhale, bring the other arm across. This is called swallow fly sit in S. Exhale, way out to the side. Inhale, up and over. And exhale, out in front of you, palm up. Bring it back to the center. Let's do the other side. Breathe in, swallow flies east. Breathe out, swallow flies west. Breathe in, swallow flies up and over. And then exhale, lands in its nest. Come back to the center, switch sides. Swallow flies east, breathing in. Swallow flies west, exhale. Swallow flies up and over and lands in its nest. Back to the center, breathe in, swallow flies east. Breathe out, swallow flies west. Breathe in, swallow flies up and over, and exhale, lands in its nest. Last time, inhaling, bring it across. Exhaling, out to the side. Inhaling up and over, and exhaling. Let's come back to the center, finish the breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up, and bring down the chi. Beautiful. From here, let's draw a circle in, and then do the other circle in. It's called parry, or you may know it as wax on, wax off. So you're kind of shifting your weight from one bun to the other. You may notice that, right? And then you're going to pause and then wipe it out. It takes a couple times to kind of get into the groove, yeah? I'm trying to think, what's parry good for? It's good for the brain, and you may notice your core a little bit. My left circle is different than my right circle. That's what I notice. Now let's bring it towards like you're wiping the windows. You're cleaning my windows or cleaning the side of my car. And this is where y'all probably remember the wax on, wax off, yeah? Hello, shoulders. Woo! Your circle may be teenier. And then wipe it in. Very good. Now there's a part where you can add to this to do more. It's always if you want to do more, should you do more, yeah? You make fists and then bring the elbows to the center. So it's a little bit more into the lungs, into the side body. That's an option, not a requirement, okay? Elbow strikes. So I'm breathing deeper. I'm getting some more oxygen out of the lungs or carbon dioxide, whatever it is. I don't know what it's called. And then bring it back, wiping it in. And then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Do y'all feel that sensation going on in the hands a little bit? A little energy kind of going on? Maybe? Yeah? Okay, inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Do a heart here. Bring your heart down the heart center. Well, that's kind of a heart. And then you bring your palms up. You take your thumbs over here near your pinky and then fingers on top of the thumb to stimulate that heart meridian. Elbows back, chest forward, breathe in. Exhale out to the side. This is called the blood pressure technique. Inhale up, whether you have high or low blood pressure. Exhale, bring it down, grab the thumbs, and then inhale, elbows back, chest forward. Exhaling out to the side. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring it down to heart center, grab those thumbs, elbows back, breathe in, chest forward, squeeze those shoulder blades. Inhale out to the side, exhale out to the side, sorry. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up, last time. Exhale, bring it down. Grab those thumbs, elbows back, chest forward, breathe in. Exhale out to the side. Beautiful. Let's finish the breath, inhaling up and exhale. Bring it down. From here, we're going to basically do a circular movement. We're turning from the quad. The quad's here where the leg inserts into the torso. So chin line with the chest, you kind of turn and reach out. This is called the tornado. And imagine you're holding an imaginary ball and you're bringing it up because you know tornadoes spin, right? And then maybe you can bring it back behind you. Maybe not. Lots of core going on here. People usually either hate or love this one. And there's nothing in between. And you're going to pause, and go the other way. Oh my. Or maybe you're going the same direction because sometimes my brain's saying, no, go back to the original direction. Bring it down. Yay, bring it down. Excellent. On down. Even more. Even more. And then just kind of circle it to a little tiny circle. Beautiful. Next is the swimming with the koi fish. So we have a palm facing the center of our body, and then we have a palm down. And basically, we're going to turn over to the side a little bit, so we're using our upper body to shift over to one side and then the other. So it's like the top hand is dragging into the water, and the other one's pushing the water. So here we go. We're bringing it across. And then we're going to switch. So it's a palm, and then dig the hand down, and then bring it across. So like you're making a line in the water, okay? Palm down, bring it across, and then cupped palm down, bring it across again. And let's do one more. Palm down, cupped palm, bring it across. Now let's make our fish swim. So cup palm, and the hand that we had down, we turn it towards our body and swim across. Maybe your fish goes fast. Let's do the other one, okay? Swimming across. Notice which fish has a livelier tail, yeah? Let's do it again. Swimming across, and then do the other side. Here we go. One more time, each side. Here we go. Cupped palm, flat palm towards you. Swim your fish. And then one more time. Here we go. Excellent. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. Okay, so we're going to do teacup. You know what? I'm going to grab my ball. You don't have to do this with anything, but I I like to show the visual of this. You can use a tennis ball. You can use something that you can grab. You can use just your hand. That works too. So remember when we did the tornado, we were kind of bringing our bodies and we were doing this kind of circular or spirally movement. There's a spirally movement to teacup. So basically it's to keep the palm up. That's the objective. It may or may not work. We'll see, yeah? So we're going to bring the elbow out to the side, palm up, ball faces or whatever faces your armpit. Then you hinge forward a little bit, hide your hand behind you, okay? Then you lean out that opposite direction. Whatever hand is behind you, opposite direction, lean out, and bring your hand out to the side. So it's palm up. So you may want to watch and make for sure, is that palm going to stay up? As you do that low tornado and then upper tornado and bring it back to the center. So maybe you spilled your tea, maybe you didn't. Maybe you're going, I don't know. We're going to try it again. So here we go. Ball to the armpit, hand to the armpit. Lean forward, hide your hand. So hide your hand, very good. Lean out, palm up, look at it. Now if you can, look at it as you're doing this. Low spiral or tornado, upper spiral, and bring it back to the center. Now what a lot of folks like to do, they like to be fancy when they bring it back to the center, like to be dramatic. That's okay. You can do that too. Let's do this again. So ball to the armpit or whatever to the armpit. Hide your hand. Very good. Lean forward, lean out to the side. Palm up. Here we go. Low to the floor and then up spirally to the sky and dramatically bring it in. Love it. You know what? We're going to do it one more time. Here we go. Hand to the armpit, palm up. Hide your hand. Lean out to the side. Palm up. Here we go. Low spirally business and then upper spirally business and bring it back to the center. Okay, so that's all well and good. We got that memorized on that side. You know what? Let's take hands, air ball or a real ball, roll it forward. We're trying to lose our muscle memory, okay? And then roll it backwards. Okay, maybe that worked, maybe it didn't. Now, switch over to the other side. Palm up to the armpit, lean forward, hide the ball, and then you bring it out to the side. Palm up, make it palm up. Now you're going to spiral it low. And again, you look at it if you need to make sure it's palm up and bring it back to the center. Now, sometimes it can make you feel dizzy. So maybe you're trying to not look at the palm, okay? So here we go, to the armpit, lean forward, hide the hand, arm out to the side, palm up. Here we go. Low spiral, lean back, woo! Upper spiral, bring it back to the center. So there's some elements of tornado in here. You're really bracing, you're using that core, yeah? Here we go, 85 more times. Well, maybe not 85. Here we go. To the armpit, hide the ball, and you're kind of squeezing that shoulder when that happens. Palm up. Here we go. And sometimes I kind of grunt when I do this one because it's like, Let's do it again. We're thinking, okay, this is 85. Surely it's 85. To the armpit, hide the ball, palm up. Look at it if you want to. And then, again, try to make sure it's palm up. Yay. And bring it back to the center. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then bring down the chi. I see some of y'all have weights. Some of y'all have balls. That's great. So eventually we're going to add the ball a little bit more into the class because there's even more things we can do with the ball in our seated chair Tai Chi class. So I'm excited to start bringing a little bit of that to you. Now, you don't have to use the gear in the class. You can always do air ball. All right? Just know that. Again, breathe in, circle up, and exhale. Now I'm going to come a little bit more towards the front of the room and do the hand tapping sequence. And we'll do the guided rest and relaxation. And just kind of note, how does your body feel at this moment? Do you feel a little bit more in ease with your body? Is there a little less aches and pains? And then so, it's kind of significant for when you fill out that survey. And let me see, let me bring my knees, bring it back to where you can see my knees. Okay, so first off is the tapping of the sides. So that's for headaches, for vertigo. Now we're not whapping, it's soft tapping, okay? This is one of the meridians in our body in traditional Chinese medicine. I can't remember which one it is at the moment. Well, if I had my book, I'd be able to tell you, but I can't. So therefore I won't. And I'm kind of scooped back in my chair, so I'm, comfy in my chair. But if you want to be away from the back of the chair, that works too. So we're doing a sampler today. So this is purported that you need to do this about a minute. We're not going to do a minute today. But now we're going to switch it into the webs of the hands. That's for digestive disorders, nausea. So tap, tap, tap. And I got my bracelets on, so they may make a little sound. Yeah, a little sound. And then just breathing in and out. And if I want to drop my elbows to be a little bit more relaxed, that works too. Now, I'm going to switch it. Brain work right there. It's like, oh, I don't normally do my hands this way. Well, do you normally do this anyway? Who knows? You've been doing that if you come to class, yeah? Remember these, yeah? Very good. Now, I'm going to scoot forward a little bit. So the interwebs of the fingers, we're going to tap, tap, tap in there. Let me see. That's for, I got my list here, pain or numbness in the limbs. I can never remember all this, so I have to have my little cheat sheet there. If you got rings, you're going to be a little careful, okay? If you got rings to rings, it's going to make a little sound. So you normally interlace your fingers a certain way. And you're thinking, do I interlace my fingers? Well, you know, if you're in yoga classes, you may do a up to the air, one to the front. So you interlace your fingers, yeah. And then, so what you're going to do, you're going to pause and wiggle the top finger and then switch the other finger to be on top. That's your abnormal way of interlacing the fingers, and it feels a little strange because it's like, I don't normally do it that way. Well, you do when we do the hand tapping. Equal opportunity for both sides of the brain to do the work. I love it. Okay. Now, we're going to, kind of like when we swung the arms, you know, we cupped the hands, we're going to have a cupped hand and gently tap on the top of the hands. Okay. That's for, let me think, what is that for? Osteoarthritis, back pain. I think I skipped one. We'll get back to it. Now, if I have a ring, I cup it over a little bit so I don't like knob myself on the top of the hand. Some folks like to place their hand on their leg and do tapping, but I find that I'm more vigorous when I do that, like too much. So I do air hand. Let's do the other one. Okay, cup the hand. I got a ring on this one, so I'm going to cup it a little bit more. Ooh, it makes a nice little sound. I have a nurse in one of my other classes. She goes, yes, this is great for making those veins pop when you need to have, not actually pop, but that pop out so they can do an IV on the top of the hand. I'm going, oh, great. I know. Gross, right? Now, we're going to go back to the one that I missed, which was the pulse points. Yeah? So that's for heart cardiovascular issues. When I took my Lakshmi Volker Chair Yoga training in New York City at the Open Center back in 2010, she had these knee and hand exercises that we did in yoga, in chair yoga. And then when I come to learn Chair Tai Chi, we were doing even more of them. I was like, wow, that is so cool. Now flip it. Let's do the other one. So we get a little bit more time in the wrists, probably in the same area, compared to what we're doing with the rest of the places in our hand tapping sequence. Okay, next is back of the wrist. So I'm going to move my hand down a little bit. Let's see, what was it? Back of the wrist, neck and shoulder pain. Again, curve it a little bit if you need to. And I'm not very spicy on this. If you take blood thinners, you don't want to be whapping here, okay? You want to be gentle, all right? When I was on blood thinners before I had my heart surgery, you know, anything I touch or whatever, I just have a weird red things on my arms. So I'm not on blood thinners anymore because I had the heart surgery to get rid of that AFib. So yay! So I don't have to worry about that so much. Now, other side. Now I've got my watch here, so I'm just gonna pretend that it's on my wrist, okay? And I keep my watch on because, if I'm having a rush heart episode, I like to do the EKG that's on my watch to see, is it in VTAC, is it in AFib, is it, A flutter, so I can kind of measure that, right? Okay, woo, gotta wiggle those shoulders a little bit. All right, let's make the fist and punch into the palm. That's for clarity, anxiety. This is one we did for lessening anxiety, to get punched into the palms. That is a little bit more vigorous, by the way. Makes a big sound. Now let's do the other one. You may notice one side's more strong than the other. So here we go. Kind of move my hand a little bit. Trying to find a sweet spot there. Very good. Next, let's do the big six, shall we? First, we're going to thump our thymus. We haven't done that in a while. So we're thumping here below the collarbone. That's to increase T cell production. Again, my pacemaker's over here to the side, so I don't try to veer over a little bit. I stay in the center. When you reach about 30, you start producing less T cells, which helps keep our immunity in a good place. So here we are, stimulating that thymus gland with the thumping. You can also add a little voice to it, kind of like Tarzan. Or maybe not. Now spread out the hands like Spock, or maybe you can't do that. It's hands above and below the collarbone, stroke across. So this is part of the big six, okay, the lymphatic drainage. And you can also tap across, okay, soft taps. It's nothing too vigorous here. And let's do the other side. So stroke it across, skin to skin, clothing to skin. Try not to do this if you're in the shower, because you don't have this kind of traction feeling to where you can, empty out your lymph nodes toilets, so to speak. All right, to increase cerebral spinal fluid flow, you have to have clear pathways of your lymphatic fluid. So let's get here in front and in back of the ear, come down the jawline and then down the neckline. And then eventually your hand kind of goes back here at the bony part of your head. So you get kind of like a 3 for the price of 1 here. Very good. Let's do the other side. And again, you can tap this also, but I like to stroke mine because I want to feel like, okay, I'm doing the neck, I'm doing the jawline, I'm coming to get back here at the back of the atlas point where the head inserts into the top of the spine, that little bony ridge back there, the occiput, I think they call it. I think that's how you say it. Yeah. So this is area 1. This is area 2. Area 3, kind of make a right angle with your hand and push into your armpit. So when men and women get breast cancer, they check auxiliary sites for cancer going to the lymph nodes. This pectoral, this armpit is where they check. You can also rub, circular, you can pat, tap, you can squeeze that thumb in the front. So again, let's get rid of that lymphatic waste, shall we? It goes from high pressure to low. The low pressure was here at the collarbone. So you got to clear the collarbone first, get all the muck out of that. All right, let's do the other one. You want more information? You look up Big Six, BIG number 6, all together. Dr. Perry Nicholson, Nicholston, S-T-O-N, yeah. Or you can rub. Now I mentioned I had heart surgery, so I have scars on the side of my ribs because they went into my ribs. So I have scar tissue, so I often will pat my scars to make sure I'm still having good lymphatic flow, even though, sometimes when you have surgery and scars, it kind of stops that, yeah? All right, next is, I'm going to move my feet forward. You can't see that, but I find the bottom of my ribs. That's where your diaphragm sits, and I kind of stroke on the diaphragm. Sometimes when you have challenged breathing, chest breathing, it's because that diaphragm is like stuck up in underneath your ribs, yeah? So you stroke across. And then go ahead, side of the hands, chop the waistline, or palms, or fists, where you can kind of go up and down. Just kind of get this whole abdominal area wiggling. Lots of lymphatic nests here in the abdominal front part of your body that affects GI issues, okay? So yeah, let's get that taken care of. Okay, now I'm going to do my sumo stomp legs, where my leg inserts into my torso. That's the quad. So we're going to chop the quad. You have prostate cancer. This is the area where they check for if the cancer goes to this area. Chop, chop, chop. And let me make sure everybody's muted. Keep going. Okay. Chop, 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 chop. Yep. And then we've already done this one already, but we're going in order to have a more effective lymphatic flow. We're going to hinge forward, take the hands, go back behind the knees. You can use that right angle again to chop the back of the knees. or you can just stroke back and forth. And again, the sides of the thumbs are getting the sides of the knees, which again lessens knee pain when you tap, tap, tap the side of the knees, and then stroke. So again, if you have edema in the feet, the ankles, you work this big six, make sure you do the knees before you do whatever you're doing for the ankles and the feet. Very good. Clap the hands. Rub circulation back into the hands. Now I invite you to scoot back into your chair. Now we're getting into the guided rest gratitude practice. So I invite you either to gaze your eyes down at the floor or close your eyes. Hands can rest on your belly or palms up, however is more comfortable for you. Maybe you're crossing at the ankles. Again, maybe you're getting onto the couch or the floor, getting comfortable here. But I invite you to get comfortable. So part 2 for reducing chronic pain is to do a body rotation practice. Also, that's an element in our yoga nidras that are at nighttime. So if you haven't checked those out, please check those out. I have a couple on my YouTube also, but we have some fantastic yoga nidra instructors. So let's breathe in, expand the belly, and then exhale, belly button towards your spine. Relax those shoulders. Again, breathe in, belly expands, chest expands. Exhaling. From the top of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes. Notice the shoulders, the chest, the hips, the legs, the feet. Notice your back into the chair. Notice your behind on the chair, the feet on the floor. Notice that sensation of support. Maybe you notice the air coming across your skin in the front places of the body. Notice that the front places of the body might feel lighter than the supported places in the back places of the body. Again, the back side of the body supported by the surface beneath us. And noticing the air coming across the neck, the face, the arms, the feet, and the front places of the body. Notice your breath. Don't try to change it in any way. Just notice, what does it feel like here to breathe in and to breathe out? Think about healing sunshine coming in as you breathe in. And as you exhale, just let go of what no longer serves you today. And again, breathe in that healing power of light, that sunlight, bathing all of our cells. And exhale, release that no longer serves you today. Beautiful. And I invite you to open the eyes, scoot a little forward, and let's place the hands to heart center. Now they can be stacked or hands together. And let's think about one thing that we're grateful for, or maybe an idea of gratitude. Yeah? And just for showing up today, let's drop our chin a little bit towards our chest, and gratitude is showing up. Again, bringing whatever you're grateful for, or the idea of gratitude, let's kind of clasp it and place it into our heart space today. Beautiful. Then you can raise your head to look forward, eyes open. Let's make that right fist once again. That's the sun. And that flat left palm, that's the moon. And once again, let's bow down to one another in respect in our Chair Tai Chi class today. Very good. This concludes our practice of Chair Tai Chi. Let me stop the recording. And then I'll put y'all on